Hi, I'm Red Ben.
And I'm Laura Bomber.
We're Bomber and Red, and this is
Waupaca Local Live.
Welcome to Waupaca Local Live. I'm Marcy Boku, and I'm here by myself tonight. Lucky me, because I got you guys all to myself. All right. And we have got Bomber and Leela. No. You guys have had several names, right?
We were a little bit indecisive about our name.
So what are we calling ourselves
So
now?
we're Bomber and Red.
Bomber and Red.
Yep.
Bomber and Red.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Laura Jean Bomber. I'm Red Ben.
All right. We're going to get a lot of stuff cleared up tonight. I'm really excited. So these guys are here kind of from a ways away, and I really appreciate you guys coming to the show. So let's just start with introductions. Who's who? So Laura, you want to start and tell us where you're from and
Yeah.
how you got up here?
Sure.
This.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Freedom, Wisconsin.
Right.
How I met Ben later on in life was I went to school in Stevens Point.
Okay.
And I graduated there, and probably I think junior year of college, I met him at Main Street Taps in Stevens Point. We started jamming out. I think the actual night that we introduced each other.
Okay.
And we played that night just for fun, and we looked at each other and were like, hey, this isn't so bad.
There was some sort of thing that drew you together musically.
Yeah,
Because we really felt it on that song, I'm just saying, okay? Because that was kind of like, whoa, should we be here? I mean, it was like incredible, the energy of the way, especially that a cappella part. So, sorry I'm interrupting.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. So yeah, I graduated from Stevens Point, and then I ended up moving to Milwaukee, and that's where I am now.
All right.
But obviously, we're still playing music together. It
Yeah.
can be harder at times with the distance, but
Right.
we made it here.
You sure did.
yeah.
That's so great. And what about you, sir?
Well, I'm from Stevens Point,
Okay.
born and raised, and I mean I've been all over the place, and but I always come back to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's my home. Write songs about it and stuff. But right now I live in Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking to move back towards the Stevens Point, Iowa, Waupaca
Central-
area,
Central Sands
Wisconsin.
area.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just give me close to the Wisconsin River. I'll be happy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys met in Point, and so that wasn't really like a school connection. It was more like a bar connection, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was working at Main Street Taps, and she played a show, and I was like,
okay. So you were playing music there, and that's how you guys met. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Were you majoring in music in college? Or what did you major in?
I was in choir throughout the entire 4 years, but I sort of knew deep down that if I went for music, I might be doing it too much, and I'd have trouble still having a passion for it like I do now. So
Okay.
I'm really glad I took this road. I actually have a marketing degree, and I can use that for music as well. So,
Yeah, that's a great thing
yeah.
to have
it's actually
for
probably
music,
more
right?
usable.
Nowadays, yeah.
If you're in marketing, go into music. That's awesome. Okay, so I always like to find out from our musicians that come on the show kind of where they got started in music. I'm a musician myself. I'm also a music teacher, and I just think it's an interesting trek because kids that start out in music, it's like it's always with them. So just kind of curious where you started with your musical roots. Maybe Ben, you can go first.
Yeah, well, I started playing saxophone in band, and I was,
Band
yeah, totally. But I mean, the band program doesn't get enough credit in public schools because I was
Yeah.
one of the
It's amazing.
you know, I wasn't a popular kid, and that was my salvation. You know, or
Yeah.
that's where I went to be comfortable and be myself.
Saved by music.
Yeah, totally. And then after that, my dad's a songwriter, and
Really?
yeah. And so he got me playing acoustic guitar, interested in songwriting, listening to Bob Dylan and Neil Young and all that. And I think I wrote my first song when I was 14, and then
Nice.
it's all.
Do you remember what it was called? Like Kidnapped,
Yeah,
right?
the hippie song.
Oh, it's a hippie song.
The hippie song is the first song that I wrote and still play today. So.
Seriously, it's called the hippie song?
It's called the hippie
Were your
song.
parents hippies, or are your parents hippies?
I thought they were. At least I thought my mom was.
That's
I definitely
funny.
had an idealized version of what a hippie was when I was 14. That's changed quite a bit as I've ventured into adulthood. But
So your dad was a songwriter, and so was there a lot of music going on in your house, like people coming over to play and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure. And I mean, I grew up going to open mics with my dad in downtown Stevens Point, like the Mission Coffee House, and it was
Okay.
a thing. And that was like, I carried a notebook with me constantly, and I was very inspired by the local music scene. And it's
Wow.
it's important that that's a part of the community because
It is.
it changes
and
people's lives.
kids need to have access to it.
Very much so.
Actually, it can't just be in the bar.
Yeah, not just in
right?
the bars.
Yeah.
That one coffee shop was
Yep.
really. I know influenced a lot of kids in their musical endeavors.
So shout out to Aquamos if you guys are listening.
Yeah.
We have an idea for you. Okay. All right, so that's pretty cool. And did you take lessons other than band lessons?
Nope.
So you went from saxophone to guitar, and I know you play mandolin too, right?
No, I played banjo.
Oh, you play banjo?
Yeah, I learned
Okay.
banjo when I was on the road. I lived in my van for a few years, traveling around the country, doing the
Van
traveling
life.
musician
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and I teamed up with this group we actually formed at a hippie commune called Bean Creek, and we stole their washboard and took off to San Francisco and renamed ourselves from the Bean Creek Bandits to the Bad Creek Bandits because we stole their washboard, and we went all over the country, and in that time I learned how to play the banjo just from random street kids.
Wow, that's cool. So you're self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught. Well,
Okay.
I mean, I think nobody's really self-taught. It's taught by my friends, but
Right.
yeah.
By mentors.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you take any formal music lessons, piano lessons?
I mean, I was in choir throughout all my life until I graduated college. No, real lessons, maybe for solo ensemble in the choir room for 30
Right.
minutes a day, but other
Okay.
than that, not really.
So how did you pick up the piano? Just on your own?
So I think it was about third grade I started doing piano lessons. My mom's a piano player.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So I started playing in third grade. I kept going along, and my dad actually owns a sound company too, Bomber Sound Production. So
Gary Bummer!
yeah.
Oh, they did sound for us.
Oh, really?
Before COVID.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I never made that connection.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they're
both
great.
mom and dad are huge
Okay.
inspirations to me. So.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So it helps to have a musical family.
Yeah.
All right, so that first song that you did was How High the Mountain. And I'm just curious, who is the songwriter? Is it a collaboration? That's one of your songs?
Me, yeah.
Okay.
But I'd say that we made it our own together after
Okay.
I showed it to him. That's kind of our thing. We show each other our
Gotta
own
give-
originals.
Oh, okay.
You gotta give Sam a little bit of credit for that too, because I definitely watched. She played with the guy Sam Klein for a while. and
Yeah.
I studied him playing it to figure out how to do the guitar part. so,
Right?
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
yeah.
All right, well, we'll get back to your kind of get down and dirty with your songwriting mojo after we hear another song from you. So I think our next song is Learn from Love. Is that right? Do I have the order correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, can you tell us a little bit about what this song is going to be about and who the writer is, and then we'll hear from you.
Sure. Yeah, this is a song I wrote. It's one of the few that I have out on streaming services right now. This song is, like a lot of mine, are about heartbreak. So this was definitely about my first love that I lost.
Learned from Love.
Yeah.
All right, we have got a great duo here, and we're going to hear more songs from them. So take it away, you guys.
Thinking about what I've learned from love. Lift our hearts to break. There's nothing more for us to do. All the dreams we might have had, we'll try and try, but they won't be coming true. Please help me, Lord. Please help me, Lord. The past keeps drifting farther south. Now what comes out of her mouth? Sitting there, looking scared, tired without worrisome. And if the mighty up above could tell me what I've learned from love. We are not shadows, but we all know stands where ethics come from, where our bias stands. We'll figure it out, we'll be alright. I just won't sleep, not tonight. Not tonight, not tonight, no, 'cause she's never wrong, never always right. She's never wrong, never always right. She's never wrong, never always right. Never wrong, never always right. We'll figure it out, we'll be alright. I just won't sleep, not tonight. Yeah, we'll figure it out, we'll be alright. I just won't sleep, not tonight.
Local Live, that was great. Bomber and Leela with us tonight on the show. And that was a very melancholy song.
Yeah,
You were right. That was a breakup song for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to go into really what, I know both of you are writers, and do you have any kind of method? Is there something that inspires your writing? Do you have muses, or do you sit down and intentionally try to write songs? You mentioned before that last song that you each write and you bring it to the duo, and then you kind of make it a dual song.
Right.
So maybe just talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I'd say my most powerful tool in songwriting is simply just being in the car. And I usually actually don't even have any music on. Like 80% of the time I'm in the car.
Same.
Because I've always just got so many thoughts going in my head. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about this today. Let's turn on the recorder on my phone and
Oh, okay.
just sing into it. And then,
So you try to capture a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then after a day or two, when it sinks in, I listen to it in my room and
Okay.
play along and hopefully make a song.
Okay. And do you write your songs? Well, obviously you're kind of just doing it in your head, but do you write mostly on a piano, or do you use a guitar or a mandolin or anything like that?
I would say mostly piano, but sometimes guitar too. I mean, I think my first 10 songs were written on guitar, but now I'm leaning more towards playing with piano. And they obviously create such different kinds of songs too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Which is an interesting kind of like music theory lesson when you're doing that, right?
Right.
Right. What about you?
Well, I haven't actually written a keeper, as I call them, in a while. It's been quite a few years, but I've always been in the philosophy that you don't write songs, songs write you, and you just have to be there and open and have a pen handy, to be able to capture it in time before the wind blows it away,
Right.
And so, like most of the good, what I consider good songs that I've written have been like just all at once, and it's like if I have to come back and work at it, then it's probably not a keeper.
Oh, okay. So you refer to your ones that you think are like real songs as keepers. Do you have any terms that you use in your mind?
I mean, I have a different method than he does. He writes it in one day, right? If you have the inspiration, from start to finish.
Yeah.
Mine take I think 2 weeks. I'll come back to it and.
Isn't that weird, the way everybody has a different method of doing it?
Yeah.
I have to say, too, though, that my songs have very much evolved, because there's songs that I'll play that I wrote 8-10 years ago, and they aren't the same song now as they were. So I can't say that they don't work on them, but,
right.
It's like
they evolve, maybe?
Yeah, the lyrical content and the main melody usually comes out in one.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
for
right.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the lyrics? So if you were to say, is it more of the music or more of the lyrics, more the idea, more the chord structure, the harmonies? You guys don't have simple 1-4-5 songs, so it's an interesting question to ask you. Obviously, there's a lot of music involved in this. You know how some musicians, it's really more about the lyrics?
Yeah.
A lot of the folk musicians would like that.
I'm all concept and lyrics, and then I just try to, honestly, a lot of times I'll have a different melody stuck in my head, and then I'll try and fake my lyrics into that melody, and it doesn't work quite right, and then you kind of get the foundation, and then just make it as complicated as you can make it from there, with it still having some cohesion, and bam.
No, I get that. Yeah. What about you?
I'd say the music is the most important part of it to me, of how it actually moves you. Whether or not it's the lyrics I write first or the actual chord progressions, it's different every single time. I haven't
All the songs are different.
figured out a solid method to
Okay.
each one. Every time I sit down, I don't know what's going to happen first.
Okay. So has anybody ever told you after you've played whatever, you're playing a gig or a party or whatever, that a song just really affected them and they got all emotional in front of you, and then they're like, holy crap, now what do I do?
Well, there's a guy in our audience,
In our audience tonight
studio,
who's
right now.
affected.
We just played their wedding in Nashville because of that.
Wow. So what song was it that really affected
It's called
them?
Good Soil, and it's actually on.
Oh, it's on your list tonight, isn't
Well,
it?
no, it's not on our list, but we played it
was on
with.
the
Should
list.
be. It
when-
was
on the list.
It was on the list, and we took it off because Red Band and the Missing Miles played it when we were at Waupaca Local Live.
Oh.
And so I was like, I don't want to do a repeat.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
So
I appreciate that.
you can still look up Good Soil
Yeah.
Waupaca Local Live and find it.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you for that little segue. All of our shows are archived on the Waupaca Community Arts Board website, and I think we're going on year 5 or 6. I actually have no idea how long we've been doing this, but we really haven't missed a month. So there's 12 shows a year, and some fantastic musicians have come through Waupaca, and you were on the show. Man, that was like probably 4 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, you were one of our early shows,
Yeah,
right?
that was when we were just first getting started. So.
Yeah, that was great. So, okay, what were we talking about before I did that little shameless
Songwriting.
Songwriting. Okay. So so that takes me into my next question, and then we're going to do another song. Okay, we don't want to talk too much, but so you guys obviously work together with your songs, but do you guys each play with other people? I know you have another band. What about you, Laura? You mentioned doing some open mics. Were you doing solo? Just talk about what your other musical partners are like.
Sure. I started out solo for definitely a couple of years at least. And now I'm just doing our project and some solo gigs. And then I also have a new project too that just started probably 2 months ago. We're called Valley Fox.
Valley Fox?
Yeah, Valley Fox.
Oh, Foxy Luxy.
Yep, I'm with a mandolin player named Joe, and he's from the Millbillies, another band that's in Milwaukee. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that name.
Yeah.
That's a great name, Millbillies. And so what do you call yourself?
Valley Fox.
Valley Fox.
Yep.
Valley Fox. Okay, cool. We're gonna have to look everybody, I hope you're all taking notes out there. We always learn so many other musical opportunities from the show. Okay, what about you, Ben?
Well, Red Ben and the Missing Miles is my bluegrass band from.
Right.
That's been the name we've been flying under for a while, and then it's really, honestly, Bomber and Red is my main focus right now.
Okay.
And I don't ever really want to stop playing shows with Red Ben and the Missing Miles. I love the chemistry that band creates.
Right.
Whoever we play with, that's the main thing. So I've been dabbling around with electric and this electric Leela trio thing, but that's kind of on the back burner right now. So, but hopefully the rock band comes back out and play again because that's fun. I like playing electric.
Yeah, you've got a lot of styles between the two of you. All right, we're going to play another song called Real Life, right?
Real Life.
Or you're going to play it, I'm not going to play it. All right, so you want to tell us a little bit about this song before we start? Is this one of your songs?
Yeah,
Ben?
this is one of my songs. So I wrote this song when I moved back to Wisconsin for the first time. My grandpa was passing, and I just got out of a relationship, and it's a very fall song, and all the songs that we have tonight are kind of like this fall, like dark sort of feeling, heavy,
We're going in.
Yeah, totally going into the death phase.
Yeah.
But it's all about the cycle and kind of like honoring the beauty behind death and welcoming life and that's all important and
All right.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This is Bomber and Red on Waupaca Local Live.
This is a message to all of us. A warning to all of you like me that get jealous. You're gonna get broken and down you will fall. It's everything or nothing at all. Enjoy, it's conditional, just a state of mind. You'll never be happy all of the time. You must hurt and cry now, feel this pain without it, nothing mean anything. So wallow and suffer, yeah, take this all in. This is what makes us human. Was it shaping you, changing you, break you, then rebuild you? The love and the pain are the yin and the yang. That is life and then death of it all, and therefore of yourself. This is real. This is life. Rise and fall. Rise and fall.
Red Ben, everybody.
I'm gonna snag it.
Well, that one really made me want to
Happy.
curl up like with a blanket and a little hot toddy.
Yeah.
Seriously, I
Yeah.
was,
Wake up in the spring.
yeah, wake up in the spring. Okay, wow, that was a very emotional song. All your songs are emotional, so I guess the message I'm getting is that these are songs that are passing through you, they're coming out of you. You're not saying, I'm going to write a song today about this apple. There's something experiential. Would that be true to say that, or?
I think that's a nice thing to say about them.
No, that's
if
great.
if that's what you feel, then yeah.
No, that's
Great.
what I'm observing anyway. I mean, I don't think there's any right or wrong way to write songs, but my preference is when they're coming out of people. I think it's just a great way to channel stuff.
I mean, I've always kind of envied the ability to be like, I'm gonna write a story song about something that happened. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
It is cool. You know who's really good at that is Pat Wiley.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him because he's sort of a bluegrassy guy.
Sure.
Which, we've been talking before the show about how much bluegrass there is in this area and
Yeah.
how many pine festivals there are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing.
You want to just do a quick, like in a nutshell, rundown of what happens with bluegrass in central Wisconsin.
I mean, the bluegrass scene in Wisconsin is amazing. It's like, I don't know. When you think of bluegrass, you think of down south and like Appalachia and stuff. But it's very, very alive up here. And I think one of the best parts is that it's very much a community, and we're all on each other's team. You know, there's not a sense of competition. We all want to just see each other do well, and we want to play with each other. And that's one of the reasons we were talking before the show started about, okay, who's in which band? And it's like, well, we all play in all the bands.
It's
because
like
we all
volleyball,
love
you
each other's
rotate.
music.
Yeah.
Totally. And,
that's
one
so
guy
cool.
might be busy with one band, and so yeah, it's great. It's a big family, and it's an honor to be a part of it. Really.
Yeah, that is really cool. And we're lucky to live in an area that's got all these different genres, but I really, everybody knows there's a bluegrass scene around here, and thanks to all you musicians that make that happen. All right, so is there anything else you want to tell us? Like, now you said you have something out on Spotify, where we can find your music, where we can look to find you if we want to hear you play again. What kind of presence do you have on social media, that sort of stuff? Marketing girl, it's your chance. Go wild.
Together, you can find us on Facebook as Bomber and Red. After the 5th time of changing it, we are Bomber and Red, and that's final for at least
That's where it's going
a
to
few years,
All right.
hopefully. That'd be cool. But then, finding us like on streaming services. Right now, we don't have anything together, but he has some stuff under Red Ben and the Missing Miles.
Okay.
You can find a really sweet album on there, on Spotify. Listen to it.
What's the name of that album?
Steady for the Sky.
Steady for the Sky.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody look that one up.
Yeah.
And what about you?
And then I just have some of my solo stuff under Laura Bomber.
Okay.
I also have a Facebook page just for my solo stuff, and I have 3 songs on streaming services right now. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And what kinds of places do you guys play as a duo? Like, just name a few of the venues that you've played at so we can kind of keep our eyes open for that.
Well, Stone Arch sticks out in my mind. We really try
Okay.
to find like good listening rooms.
Right.
Because it's great when you can just have
Hard
a
to
crowd
find.
that's there for you, you know.
Yeah,
and
they came to hear music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We aren't as much as like the barn burner. We're gonna rip up a bar late at night sort of thing, but we still play those. I mean, we'll be at the intermission in Wausau.
Okay.
Actually, this weekend. I know this is gonna air after we're there, but we play at District 1 in Stevens Point quite a bit.
Nicole's on 3rd in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It's a great listening
That's
room.
a really awesome spot. Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like festivals go, I think the ones that stand out to me is Marla Music and Jack
Yeah.
Pine. I'd say.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to ask about Mile Music. I was
Yeah.
glad to hear that you guys have played there.
Yep.
Awesome. Good for you.
2 years up there.
That's a fun thing to
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Well, that's great. So, playing at listening rooms is your preference, but how do people get a hold of you if they want to have you play at their venue or their party or their wedding?
Yeah.
They find you
gotta
on
find
social
You gotta
media?
find us at a random bar in the middle of nowhere.
They're
in
looking for
Northland.
Bomber
Yeah.
and Red on Facebook. Is that
Yep.
the easiest way to find
Yes.
you?
That's the easiest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like Bandcamp or
Yeah.
anything
Or
like
you
that,
can
but
you can
mostly Facebook?
you can superimpose my phone number over the video right now if you want.
Yeah, and you'll get a free set of steak knives with this order. Oh my gosh, it's been so great. I wish we could keep talking all night, but it's been great to have you guys on the show. Do you have a...
Before we go, too, I got to pitch my music festival.
Oh,
we were
yes, yes,
talking
yes.
about that.
Yeah,
Totally,
music
all the
festival.
Pine festivals.
The Pine
So
festivals.
I run a festival in Iola, Wisconsin, called the Pine Camp Music Fest, and this next year will be our 7th year, and it's the second weekend of August. I don't have those dates right off the top of my head, but second weekend of August, and
Oh, fun for you, because so you do Mile of Music the first weekend, and then
Yep.
you do your Pine Camp.
Yep, and then
And
after that is
maybe-
Art Stevenson's festival
Then
in
you do ours.
Rochelle, which
Right,
is bluegrass
right.
in the Pines.
Yeah.
And then the weekend after that is Sloppy Joe's festival, Jack Pine.
Yeah.
It's Pine festival.
Yeah. And I've heard kids that have grown up in that environment refer to it as the festival season.
Yeah. Oh, very
And I
much.
just think what an enchanted life to have grown up in the festival genre. You know, I think this is really cool. All right, so do you have one more song in you for
Yeah,
us?
absolutely.
I think so.
And I'm looking here,
Sunset
Sunset Lullaby.
Lullaby.
What a perfect song to end on. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Laura and Ben. You guys are Bomber and Red on Waupaca Local Live. We'll see you guys again in November. Here we go.
All right.
Can you see it? I can feel it all around this empty, worn-out fixture we call our home. And we're all alone. Could you remind the time we fasted with our hearts beating disaster? Oh, and the sun is coming up. Oh, oh, could you remind me
Waupaca Local Live.